Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty and Robert Parrish, Peter Brown with the weather, and Maddie Shipko with Community Calendar. Thank you for joining us. A man who found himself in a horrific, life-threatening situation was saved thanks to the quick work of first responders and the cooperation between the Burlington Police Department and the Burlington Fire Department. On Friday, November 16th at 4:41 a.m., police received a call through the 911 system, but were unable to hear anyone on the other line. They attempted to call the number back, and at 4:48 a.m. were able to get in touch with a man who said he had been sleeping in a dumpster in the area of Market Basket that had been dumped into the back of a garbage truck. The truck's hydraulic compressor had been activated, but the man was still alive and conscious, but didn't know the current location of the vehicle. Using the department's 911 locator system and working with the phone company, they were able to determine the man's cell phone was in the area of Crossroads Plaza in about 15 minutes of the call first coming in. Sergeant Tommy Carlson said at the time he issued an order to shut down Cambridge Street to search all garbage trucks. However, in that same moment, a truck driver, tipped off to check by a fellow driver police had spoken with, called to report that he had someone in his truck in the parking lot of Panera Bread. Locating the man was just the first part of the rescue operation. Members of the Burlington Fire Department arrived on scene, and the first obstacles was simply getting into the victim. The lip of the back of the truck is between 10 and 15 feet off of the ground, requiring one ladder to get to the top. A second ladder was needed to allow firefighters to get to safety inside. Firefighters said that when they were able to look into the back of the truck, they could only see the victim's hands sticking up from a pile of cardboard. When they got into the truck, they started to remove the cardboard, but due to a mix of rain and snow, it was wet and fell apart in their hands, hampering their attempts to reach the man. After unburying the man, they were then faced with the problem of getting him out of the garbage truck. Pulling him up a ladder will only add to his significant injuries, so they brought the tower truck to the scene and used the tower to lower a stretcher into the back of the truck and secure the man to it. They were then able to lift him out and get him into an ambulance at Tulare Clinic, where a large crew of emergency room doctors and nurses awaited their arrival. Firefighters say the man had been crushed by the truck's compressor multiple times and had fractures throughout the left side of his body. He also had a broken back. In the end, first responders said he was lucky to be alive at all. The firefighters involved in the rescue were Captain Andrew Conady, Lieutenant Todd Ficiciello, and firefighters Justin Kane, Connor Grenier, Richard Hovass, Tom McClade, and Eric Holy. The dispatcher was Brian Latondra. The police officers involved were Lieutenant Dan Hannafin, Sergeant Tom Carlson, and officers Dan Houston, Remez Gendivia, Jilsa Smith, and Eric McGee. Dan Main was the desk officer. There's a lot more to this story, and you can find a version with greater detail on our website at www.bcattv.org/bnews. The Burlington Police Department is asking for the public's assistance in identifying two suspects in a shoplifting case. Police tweeted the photo of a man and a woman asking if anyone knew who they were. They said the pair are suspects in a shoplifting case at the Burlington Coles on November 28th, where they allegedly stole $2,700 in merchandise. If anyone knows who they are, police are asking they contact Officer Christopher DiDonato at 781-272-1212, extension 4914. The Burlington Board of Selectmen set the FY19 tax rate during its meeting on Monday evening, and while property owners will see lower rates, they will also overall see a rise in their tax bills due to higher assessments on their properties. The board held its annual tax classification hearing and set the residential and commercial property tax rates for the following year. Burlington, as you know, has a split tax rate, meaning that residents pay one amount and commercial, industrial, and personal property owners, effectively meaning businesses in town, pay a higher rate. The big decision with the split tax rate and how much of the burden to put on the residents and how much on commercial properties, that's the biggest part of the decision. When deciding on how to set the split between the residential and commercial tax rate, the board weighs its desire to keep the residential rate low so as not to burden residents, but also does not want to raise the commercial rate so much that it would slow economic growth. Here is Board Chairman Chris Hartling talking about the need for a healthy balance.
We tend to look at potential increases. We do it in such a way that the spread between the commercial rate and the residential rate is kept at the level that it's been at over the last several years, recognizing that it's easy for my neighbor to say, you know, put any increases on the backs of the commercial property owners. We recognize that it's a delicate balance because these commercial properties are, in many ways, they're taxed, aren't they taxed based on how full they are and how successful they are. So there's a direct correlation between their success in their ability to rent space and have vibrant businesses in those spaces that has a direct result on how they're taxed. So it's easy to say, go ahead and just assign taxes in a certain way, but we've got to give business owners an opportunity to be successful as well, because that's how we're able to maintain the spread that we have now.
The board went with the option, which kept the split roughly the same as before. In FY18, the business side paid for 61% of the levy, the total amount of money that was brought in. And in FY19, they will cover 62%. The residential share went from 38% in FY18 down slightly to 37% in FY19. Under this option, both the residential and commercial rates went down slightly. Residents will now pay $10.48 per 1,000 of assessed value, as opposed to $10.62 in FY18, fiscal year 18. Commercial taxpayers will pay $16.98 per 1,000 of assessed value, as opposed to $17.13 the previous year. However, due to rising value assessments, the average tax bill will increase FY19 over FY18. Town Assessor Jim Doherty said that last year the average residential home was valued at $477,600, and this year that average has increased to $502,500. You can see that obviously in some of the sales that have occurred. This means that in FY19, the average homeowner will see a roughly $195 increase in their property taxes. Finally, those on Burlington's financial team said that compared to almost all neighboring communities, the tax rate in town is lower. Out of Burlington and 12 other communities, only Woburn has a lower rate than Burlington. Work has been moving along steadily at the Terrace Hall Avenue project. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford spoke to Burlington Fire Department Chief Yetman about the project, what the new station will feature in terms of improvements, and why the project is needed on that side of town. He has this report.
There's been a lot of work accomplished down on Terrace Hall Avenue at the site of the new building that will be home of Burlington's Fire Station 2. Already a structure much bigger than the old station is up, and workers are in the midst of getting the exterior of the building ready for the winter months. There are also weekly meetings, sometimes more, between the contractors and leadership at the fire department. On Wednesday, Chief Steve Yetman was at the site for just such a meeting, and I caught up with him after it was over to ask how the project is going.
I mean, with every project, there's some bumps in the road. We've had some issues, but we deal with them as they come up. We're probably right now about 7 months into construction, and we still have a target date of the end of next April to be complete.
Along with having significantly more space, the new station will also have better facilities, bigger bays, and resources and rooms for training.
Well, first of all, it's much bigger. We went from a 4,000 square foot station to 16,000 square feet. You know, the original station was built for 3 guys. This will actually be built for 8. We may not occupy it with 8 right away, but it's built for the future. It's built for the next 40 or 50 years. The other station was basically a bay and a half. This is 3 bays. In fact, they're extra long bays. There's a training component to this building, and in behind me is a training tower, and there'll be some training components for the guys to do actually hands-on type training. There'll be a training room, a classroom in the front of the building that'll seat 32 people, you know, and then the living quarters and stuff like that. But the intent, again, has always been to get an ambulance down the side of town, an engine, and then maybe another engine or a ladder at some point.
There will also be better amenities for the firefighters who spend much of their shifts at the station.
The guys will have a big day room, kitchen, you know, a dining area. There'll actually be a gym component down here for the guys to work out. So study rooms, things we didn't have in the other station.
Better facilities will likely be a welcome change over the old building, and especially when compared to the temporary station set up at the former Clark and Reed building they are working out of during the construction of the new station.
Doing as best as it can. I mean, obviously it's a different situation. The guys are living in a trailer. They've been living in there since last year. You know, they're being patient. The guys have been great. You know, it's worked out well for us. Response, there's been no change really in responses. We're still handling the call volume that we normally handle. It's going well.
Finally, Chief Yetman said that with the big growth in the Middlesex Turnpike side of town, this new building and its ability to house more firefighters and more apparatus is necessary.
This location's been, you know, probably open for 45 years, and over time, I mean, you've seen it was built for specifics back in the 70s, and as everybody knows, this side of town has grown exponentially, and you know, our call volume is actually almost to the point of being equal with headquarters district, and it's going to flip. I mean, it's just a matter of time before this side of town will be busier.
Burlington is once again cracking down on handicap parking violators. During Monday night's Board of Selectmen meeting, the board voted to approve the use of $10,000 from the Disability Access Commission's Handicapped Parking Fine Fund to pay for extra details at high-traffic shopping destinations over the holiday shopping season. The effort has been launched the past few years and has netted hundreds of fines from people illegally using handicapped parking spots. Police have also found and fined people misusing disabled parking placards not assigned to them to beat the system. Police Chief Michael Kent said in the outset of the program the operation was meant to keep the spaces free for those who need them. He said disabled parking spaces exist to provide those with limited mobility a fair and equitable opportunity to shop, dine, and enjoy all that Burlington has to offer. They are not meant to provide a close parking spot to someone who doesn't feel like walking a few extra yards. Town Administrator Petrin said the fund raised by tickets and fines are used for disability access projects. For instance, during this week's meeting, the board also approved the use of up to $6,000 from the fund for 2 new accessible entrances at the Recreation Department's side of the Human Services Building. Another police department news: to avoid a ticket or even possibly having your car towed by parking it off the streets, Burlington's winter parking ban will go into effect on Saturday, December 1, and will be enforced until April 1. Some private roads in Burlington are exempt, but if the Burlington Department of Public Works plows it, then the ban applies. During the ban, no vehicles can be parked on the side of the road between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. The ban is put in place to make sure snow removal is easier for the DPW. The ban is enforced by the Burlington Police Department. Offenders can be subject to a fine of $50 per offense. Also, if a vehicle parked on the side of the road interferes with snow removal, the town may have it towed at your expense. Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce held their annual meeting at Tuscan Kitchen. The meeting was a year in review of the BACC's accomplishments that they've made in 2018. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris was in attendance and files this report.
Members of the Burlington business community gathered for a night of achievements and awards. This week, the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce held their annual meeting at Tuscan Kitchen. The meeting was a year in review of the BACC's accomplishments they've made in 2018.
This was our annual meeting where, by Massachusetts law, we have to get together once a year, elect our directors, elect our management, and it's an opportunity to get together and have so the membership can see what we're doing.
It's a team effort. This is a business organization that is run on the strength of its membership. And tonight's event was going over the accomplishments that we had this past year, but more so, it's the bonding of businesses and members. It really is a family, and we take on the challenges that are affecting the business community and the residential community, and we meet them head on and look for partners to help solve those problems.
During the program, there was a noteworthy guest speaker, a sports director from Boston 25 News.
I actually spent 6 years in sports marketing. I worked at the National Football League and then the National Hockey League for 6 years back in the mid-90s. And believe it or not, I actually quit cold turkey because I wanted to pursue the dream of being a sports broadcaster. So the sports broadcasting career started in 2000. So I was 6 years into my professional career. So I've been doing it for about 18, 19 years now.
Finally, the Chamber is looking ahead towards the goals they will make for 2019.
The enthusiasm and dedication of our membership.
We never know what the future brings, but we know that all of the challenges that we encounter, and most of the challenges that we're fortunate enough, our challenges are positive challenges. How to find workers, how to get workers here, how to deal with people coming to the area that want to do business here. These are positive challenges, and we take them head on. So we look forward to working together as an organization, partnering with our existing public and private partners to do what's good for the area and the region as a whole.
From Tuscan Kitchen, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
The Burlington Police Department welcomed a new member to its ranks on Monday. Officer Amanda Santos was sworn in at the evening's Burlington Board of Selectmen meeting after being appointed by Town Administrator John Petrin on the recommendation of Burlington Police Chief Mike Kent. Here's Chief Kent listing Santos' qualifications and making the recommendation.
She's a graduate of UMass Amherst Commonwealth Honors College in 2017 with a double major in sociology and legal studies. While in college, she served as an intern in the Eastern Hampshire District Court Probation Department, and she also interned with the Watertown Police Department. She joined the UMass Amherst Police Department as a student cadet in 2016 and became a full-time police officer at the UMass Police Department in February of 18 after graduating from the 5th session of the Northern Essex Community College Police Academy, where she was part of a 56-person academy class. While at the academy, Officer Santos completed an intensive 24-week program that covered constitutional law, prevention and intervention, community policing, domestic violence, elderly abuse, among other things. Officer Santos speaks fluent Portuguese, conversational Spanish, and basic French. Once she is through with, once she gets appointed tonight, she will undergo 10 weeks of field officer training and intensive program, and upon successful completion of that, she will be on the road on her own. I would recommend Amanda Santos be appointed police officer.
We're very impressed during the interview. Kept us both engaged. I stayed awake the whole interview, which is pretty good for me on that. And I was really impressed. As you know, I struggle with one language, especially in a written format. So she speaks 3 and is working on her 4th. So very impressive with that. See, I give myself hits too, you know. So with that recommendation from the chief, she is academy certified, as it says, so she'll be able to hit the streets right away. So with the chief's recommendation, I hereby appoint Amanda Santos as a police officer within the Burlington Police Department.
As the chief said, Officer Santos will now undergo 10 weeks of field training to more fully integrate her into the department. The Massachusetts Fire Academy held a graduation ceremony for the 268th class of a 50-day career recruit firefighter training program on November 19, and one of the new members of the Burlington Fire Department was among the graduates. Burlington firefighter paramedic Connor McLean was part of the 38-member graduating class, representing 28 fire departments from around the state that are now ready to begin their careers in the field. Burlington Fire Chief Steve Yetman said McLean is filling an open vacancy in the ranks of the department. He is a certified paramedic, which will help with the department's recent push to switch from basic life support to advanced life support. McLean is a native of Newburyport, who was raised in Amesbury. He is an emergency medical technician, and he holds an associate's degree in fire science from North Shore Community College and received a Firefighter 1 certification through the New Hampshire Fire Academy. McLean earned his paramedic certification in 2017 from the New England EMS Institute at Elliott Hospital and qualified for both the state and national certifications. He is also certified in advanced cardiac life support as well as pediatric advanced life support. During the Massachusetts Fire Academy, students receive classroom training in all basic firefighter skills, the graduation announcement states. They also do a lot of hands-on training, first under non-fire conditions and then during controlled fire conditions. The graduate students must demonstrate proficiency in life safety, search and rescue, ladder operation, water supply, pump operation, and fire attack. Fire attack operations range from mailbox fires to multiple floor structure fires. Monday night marked the end of the first annual Burlington Idol competition put on by CHOP's American Bar and Grill. 3 of the 19 original singers remained, but only one of them would take home first prize. BNews entertainer reporter Chris Flaherty, who had predicted the winner, has this recap of the finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our Burlington Idol. Monday, November 26th, Molly Kupris was crowned champion of the first Burlington Idol competition. When asked on how it felt to win first place, she was at a loss for words, but expressed her many thanks to the family and friends that have supported her throughout this time.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. I honestly don't know where I'd be without them. They were like my solid ground, my whole kind of people I look to just to know I'm doing okay. And when I feel a little bit nervous, they're always there to keep me grounded. So.
Second place winner Morgan Minsk expressed her gratitude for the Burlington Idol experience and the new friendships and connections that formed as a result.
I definitely just feel very grateful. I feel really grateful just for this whole competition. I think a lot of really great relationships and friendships and networking opportunities have come because of it. And I think honestly it all comes down to just God being amazing and just blessing me with all these opportunities and with friends and family.
This being the inaugural run for Burlington Idol, the folks behind the scenes at CHOP's American Bar and Grill could not have been happier with the community's reception to the program.
Huge success. I mean, the community came out and supported it. The people definitely appreciated it. The performers were absolutely outstanding. I mean, it was more than we could ever imagine. It was absolutely amazing.
You know, we didn't know what to expect when we started this. One of our concerns was that as we got less and less performers, our crowds would get less and less. But it really held steady the whole time. Everyone who performed was just fantastic. The amount of talent was great. And we're thrilled, and we can't wait to do it again next year.
Burlington Idol has concluded, but CHOPS hopes that people remember the value music holds within the community.
You know, I know nobody gets into art for competition, but sometimes there is competition involved, and it can be fun, and I hope everyone was able to take something away, whether it be new friends or new connections or new experience or just something to laugh at, you know.
Music is there, and it's a huge part of our community, and it's a huge part of what we do, and it's a huge part of other people's lives. All the performers sang from their heart. They sang from personal experiences. They're all original songwriters, which I thought was pretty impressive. I didn't think that was, part of the repertoire that was going to come out. So I think the takeaway is that music is a huge part of what we do, and people came out to support it.
Until next time, this has been Chris Flaherty with your BNews Entertainment Buzz.
Be sure to stay tuned to BCAT for our full coverage of each round at the Burlington Idol competition. Along with saving lives, local first responders are also trying to keep people in need warm this holiday season. Armstrong Ambulance said it is pleased to announce that it will be collecting donations for those in need this holiday season through its annual Winter Warmth Drive. From now until December 20, Armstrong will be collecting new and gently used items to help the homeless stay warm this winter. The items that are needed most include coats and jackets, boots, gloves, hats, scarves, socks, sweatpants, and jeans. Collection bins are located inside each of Armstrong's locations, and residents interested in donating items may leave them at the facility where they will be collected by an Armstrong employee. In Burlington, the facility is located at 217 Middlesex Turnpike, and donations can be dropped off at the rear entrance. We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in and around Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. I hope you all had a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving, and here we are moving into the very end of November and looking towards the first week of meteorological winter. I know it's hard to believe that we're already at that time of the year, but here we go. And of course, starting out our period on Friday, again, nothing new. Temperatures are going to be below average, not too far below the average for this time of the year, but still chillier than it should be for this time of the year. And of course, if you have to be out and around in the Burlington area Friday night heading into Saturday morning, our low temperatures are going to be about where they should be. Still chilly out there, so you definitely need to bundle up. Of course, though, unfortunately, we're going to be far away from this record high of 66, but unfortunately, these record lows that you see, and then at the end of the week, we're going to be pretty close to those when we get to the end of the 7 days. So that's something that we really probably don't want to think about right now. And of course, as you see this at the end of our period, December 6th, our average highs should only be in the low 40s. We're going to see highs that are going to be almost 20 degrees colder than that. And of course, as you notice, the days keep getting shorter, but a couple of weeks to go and the days will start getting longer again. So that's the one ray of hope as we go into the cold of winter. Now, as we go ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're expecting for temperatures and precip for the next month or so. Of course, you're going out there, you have to do all of your holiday shopping at this time of the year. And looking at this map from the Climate Prediction Center, it looks like up here in the northeast, up around our area here in the Burlington area in particular, we're looking for below average precipitation. Now, we're going to have to see if that really comes to fruition because we're going to have a pretty active storm pattern for the next 10 to 15 days, but something to look forward to as we get later into December. Now, as we go ahead and look at our temperatures, again, this is going to be something that's pretty much been on par for the rest of the fall. The really cold weather is going to be just to our west over near the Great Lakes. And in our area right here in the Burlington area and the rest of southern New England, looks like we have a pretty good shot of seeing average temperatures. So unfortunately, doesn't look like any big warm-ups at this time, but also maybe we'll be pulling away from some of that real frigid temperatures that we've been seeing, especially what we saw last Thanksgiving, that's for certain. Now, as we go ahead, let me show you those next 7 days in terms of our weather. And again, you probably see a lot of snowflakes on this map, meaning that we are going to have quite a bit of active weather coming up. Again, starting out on Friday, we're going to see pretty fair skies, around 40 degrees, so a little bit of a chill to the air with a little bit of a breeze. Now, getting into Saturday, when we're going to be having our tree lighting, hopefully, on Burlington Common, we may be seeing a messy mix of maybe rain, snow, and sleet moving into our area. Not sure how early that's going to be starting right now, but it looks like as we go into the later portions of the evening going into Sunday, as we start off Hanukkah on Sunday, it looks like we're going to have some heavy rain in the morning, but the skies might start clearing out with temperatures. Look at this, up near 50. We haven't seen that in quite a while in our area. We get into Monday, starting our week off, looks like we're going to have nice conditions again, temperatures in the mid-40s. However, though, Tuesday and Wednesday, we have to keep our eyes on what could be a very powerful snowstorm right off of our coast. Right now, not certain as how close this is going to get to us, but it definitely looks like it's going to be cold enough to support all snow in the Burlington area. So that's something we have to really keep an eye on. And in the wake of that storm, ending out our period on Thursday, frigid temperatures come back to us again. Highs only in the mid-20s with our lows going down to near record levels down to the teens. So everyone, bundle up out there, have a great week, and enjoy the weather.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your Community Calendar. Learn some safety tips on how you can save your pet's life. On Thursday, December 6th at 7 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a presentation called Pet First Aid with Dr. Kathleen Hansen. She will describe what actions to take if your cat or dog is bleeding, choking, has heat stroke, or is suffering from a broken toenail. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. You better watch out, you better not cry, and you better not pout, because I'm telling you why. On Friday, December 7th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m., Burlington Cable Access Television will be having their annual event, Santa Visits BCAT. Come by and see Santa and his elves in person on live TV. There will also be a photo station for parents to take their own pictures. BCAT is located at 123 Cambridge Street behind Burlington High School. Refreshments will be available. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit bcattv.org or call 781-273-5922. Come shop, explore restaurants, and enjoy a day in the Big Apple. On Saturday, December 8th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a day trip to New York City. Spend a day in New York for some great shopping amid the hustle and bustle of this exciting city. You'll get to visit Rockefeller Center, Fifth Avenue, and much, much more. Everyone is welcome and pre-registration is required. The cost of the trip is $89 per person. For more information and to register, visit burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your Community Calendar.
Apparently our weatherman, Mr. Brown, is quite the optimist if he thinks we're going to enjoy 15-degree weather. As we are between seasons, we don't have a regular sports report this week, but we did speak to the Burlington boys varsity hockey coach, Bob Concession, to see what the team is doing to prepare for the upcoming season. Burlington is a perennial powerhouse in the league. Last year, the Devils began the season with a 9-0 record, having their opponents score only 2 goals or less. Unfortunately, the Red Devils lost for the first time that year to the Hingham Harbor Men with a final score of 3-1. Although the undefeated season was out the window, the Red Devils still made it to the first round of the 2018 MIAA Boys Hockey State Tournament as the number 6 seed, where they faced off against the number 3 seed, the St. John's Prep Eagles, who came out with the victory in that one. With the new season on the horizon, the team has been preparing during the off-season for their first matchup in December. Coach Concession said that this season's schedule will be very difficult, but that is normal in this division. One of the biggest concerns for the season is replacing the positions from last year's left vacant by graduates. He said the team has lost 8 solid players from the previous season and will be working on those gaps during the games. He added the team will be a work in progress. Finally, the team is ready to display a number of skills on offense and defense during the upcoming season. Coach Concession said he is looking forward to the team to be competitive during every game and is very excited to see how the younger kids improve during the off-season. The Burlington Red Devils will have their first game on Wednesday, December 12 against the Marauders in Belmont. The game will begin at approximately 5 p.m. The home opener will be on Saturday, December 15 at 6 p.m. against the Woburn Tanners. Always a great matchup at the Burlington Ice Palace. Another week, another photo. This week, some amazing art that was created for a special holiday celebration. It was sent in by Sushila Patel and shows a work of Rangoli, an art form from India that she made for the celebration of Diwali, the Festival of Lights, earlier this month. Sushila explains that Rangoli is similar to sand art and is made on the floor near the entrance of a home to welcome both guests and good luck in the form of the goddess Lakshmi. Rangoli designs are made in homes across India as they add a pop of color to all Indian festivals. Thank you for the photos, Sushila. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or photos of your family members, friends, and pets. Whether you think this is interesting and would like to share with us, whatever you think is interesting and would like to share with us and the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Okay, don't forget the wishing tree is up at the mall, sponsored by People Helping People. Also, the Capitol Grill drawing is available as well. You can get tickets at Spencer Cleaners from Dan DiTucci or from Sullivan Funeral Home. I believe they're $25 a piece. In any event, they're available. It's a good event, and this is a period of time during the year where local residents need some help. So consider those, please. That's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, Chris Flaherty, Robert Parrish, Peter Brown, and Maddie Shipka. Thank you for joining us.